Leszek Stanowski, this is Fitness Show Podcast, and today we've got Coull with us.
Yes, we do.
Hello, thank you very much for coming down.
Pleasure, no problem.
It took you a little bit to get through with the traffic.
Yeah, an hour from Stirling, well, an hour and a bit from Stirling, but stopped every red light possible in Edinburgh.
This is how it goes sometimes, isn't it? So you told me, we had the chat before, a little bit before, you told me you already swam for like ages in the morning. And
Today, yeah, well, an hour and a half swim this morning, 6 o'clock, 6 till half 7, just to get up and at 'em, get it out of the way. And then it gives you the rest of the day to do what you want to do, really.
Are you in training at this moment for something?
Yeah, well, I've got my main race this year is Ironman Bolton in middle of July.
That's tough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's this will be my third Ironman, so hopefully third time lucky.
You did two. Which other two you did?
Other two I did. My first one was Ironman Wales, which was a few years ago when I was 19. And I did my second one just last year in Maastricht in the Netherlands. And Wales, by far the hardest so far. The Wales, the first one, I was just over 12 hours, and then Maastricht last year I was under 11 hours.
Under 11 hours. So you're getting
we're getting
there.
Progress. So Bolton is not it's not an easy course, but I'm fully confident of going again faster again. So.
There is one thing one dude told me, like just before I did it my first one a year ago in Barcelona, and then I was sitting just after registration, and there was this guy. He looked fast, and I would just start talking, and he was German. He said, "Yeah, I've been to Kona like 10 times in the row and stuff." And I said, and he asked me why I choose in the Barcelona. I said, and he asked me why Barcelona. I said, because I thought this is the easiest race. I said, Ironman is never easy.
That is true.
Don't estimate. Yeah, just be careful. Be careful.
Yeah. Yeah, a hard course is a hard course, but then a flat course is you push yourself a bit harder, so
you can just go faster.
So you go faster, and then it hurts in a different way.
Yeah,
there isn't. I don't think there's such thing as an easy Ironman, but flat courses don't necessarily mean easier; it just means faster.
But this is This is why we're doing them, isn't it?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah.
So your background is swimming, but you decided to do Ironman.
Well, I've done triathlon as long as I've been swimming as well. I did my first triathlon when I was 7, and ever since then I've been on and off, taking it not that seriously. Just kind of did a mixture of sports, swimming, triathlon, rugby, all that sort of stuff, all the way through school, and then when I got 18. I left the swim club because I couldn't really commit to the number of sessions that you need to do at that kind of age. So,
what's your speciality in the swimming? Was it long distances or short or?
Bit of a mix, to be honest, because I was swimming basically to keep my triathlon swimming reasonably good. Because triathlon's always been kind of my main sport. But normally a bit of a mix of swimming things, so I would do short sprints, and as well I would do longer distance, kind of middle distance swims as well. But
so you didn't really.
So I didn't really specify in anything. I just quite happy I did a bit of everything. So mostly freestyle though, because any other strokes were
we don't need them.
Not the best.
We don't need them.
We'll just kind of move on from those.
Yeah.
I did breaststroke for a little bit when I was younger, but I kind of swiftly moved on away from that.
So you left the club, and then year after you did your Ironman.
I left, yeah. So I kept swimming just to keep my swimming good. My swimming was reasonably good at that time. When I left the swim club, I just started swimming with the triathlon people and all that, swimming on my own when I could, and then did my first Ironman when I was about the year after that. And my swim was pretty good at that, along with everything else. To be fair, I was 8th my age group, and I was generally top 5 in the swim at most races, but kind of depends on who turns up. But then since then, I've just because I've done triathlon for so long, I've done pretty much all the distances that you can think of. I've done like little kids races, super short and fast ones, and then all the way up to Ironman, and then the last few years I've done more kind of mountain biking, more endurance stuff. I did a 24-hour mountain bike race a couple of years ago.
Is it the one in North? The
Up north, Fort
Straffa-
William.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah,
All
there's
right.
one in Strathpuffer as well, but
Is it the Fort William? Is you just going
Fort
around?
William,
The
yeah,
yeah.
at Nevis Range. So it's basically as many laps as you can do in
That's-
24 hours.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can see. I could do something for 24 hours. Hope at some point. This is what I'm thinking. But I couldn't manage to get in loop because the loop is like 8 miles there, isn't it?
The loop, it was about an hour.
An hour.
About to do a loop, give or take a few minutes. But yeah, so just quite. I've done it before as a team.
Okay.
So a team of 4 a few times before, and then that year I just thought I'd do a proper challenge and do it all solo. So basically riding round and round and round and round in circles for a full day, really.
So
no
what's
sleep.
So what's in for you in the endurance races? Because I know some people like myself. I was doing a lot of fast things when I was a little bit younger, and then when I'm getting older, I'm thinking the long distance things are easier for your body in some sense because you're not pushing to the limit all the time, and you can just sustain this cardio for longer.
Yeah, it's just a totally different type of racing, I guess, because people that would do Olympic or sprint distance triathlons, it's just you're pretty much pushing as hard as you can, like as hard as you can, as fast as you can,
All
to
the time,
end.
yeah.
And then, but Ironman is all far more pacing and kind of judging how hard to go at certain times. Because if you start off too hard at any point, then you'll pay for that pretty quick.
You will pay, yes.
As I found out in my first Ironman, but
I think
you
everyone.
learn.
Yeah. So what was your point? I had this. My race was perfect until the second half of the marathon, and I said to myself, "This is the last time I'm doing this. This is the first time, last time. Don't ever try to sign up." But I signed up straight after for the next one.
Oh.
So what was for you? Was it the?
The first time it was my second half of the run as well.
Uh-huh.
First half marathon felt like I hadn't ridden a bike. I felt like awesome, and then just everything hurts all of a sudden. Feet start to hurt, your legs start to hurt. You can't really eat much, and then it's just everything just a survival mode for the last bit of the run. But that's why we did it though, right?
Was it the run up and down? Was it hilly or was it straight?
Wales is pretty much up a hill or down a hill. There was not a single bit of flat on the whole run, or even the bike or the swim actually. The swim was super choppy. There was a lot of just chat before it about saying it might have maybe been cut in half because it was 2 loops. The waves were humongous.
Wow,
it was ridiculous. But I'm a fairly confident swimmer in kind of open water, so it doesn't really bother me. Wavier the better for me.
Yeah, it's good to put a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people really
like
struggle with that, but I don't mind.
I hear people who, just before the race, they saying what the water temperature is, if you are allowed to wear the wetsuit or no. And I remember from last year, I was reading through, and a lot of people decided not to take part because there was a wetsuit. You couldn't wear the wetsuit.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, because a lot of people rely on a wetsuit because.
I mean,
it's
me. It's me.
I mean, non-wetsuit swim wouldn't probably not bother me that much because from a swimming background, I'm kind of used to swimming without one anyway. But it's when you go, people that kind of rely on a wetsuit to keep their technique better and body position better, then I can totally understand why people would panic.
For someone like me,
yes.
I still trying to learn how to swim properly, and I still struggling with my body position. What I should do? Is there anything I could try to do when I'm swimming and focusing? What I should be focusing on?
Well, a good thing to start with is if you get a coach to watch you swimming, it's always such an easy way to get tips on things to work on. So if you've got access to coaches or a club or something, you just ask it could be just 1 half-hour session with someone watching. They can point out a few things that you might not really notice with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then it can just depend on what the thing is that you need to work on. Then they can tell you things, and it just gives you something to think about. So when you're,
I tell you, my legs sink. We're just going down as a bricks.
Yeah. Do you possibly swim with your head up too high then, perhaps? Okay. So if you think about your body position is there, if your head's up, then that's gonna almost make your legs sink. So you can try and play around with your head position. So if you try and push your chest or your head down a little bit, not burying your head down, but trying to just push your chest and your shoulders in the water a little bit more, which could help bring your legs up behind you. But it's just some things work for some, not others. But
I've noticed when I start kicking, this is where I can kick and my legs are up, but then this screwing up completely my breathing. So then all my swimming I done now, open water, and then for preparation for the last Ironman, it was basically not using legs at all, just keeping them together, keeping them as high as possible, and my time's been faster than with kicking. So
using your legs, especially for Ironman things, there's no need to have like a super strong, super fast kick, because you're just gonna kind of waste your legs out for the rest of your race. So it's just having it's more an efficient kick rather than like a fast kick. So the legs are kind of there more to keep your body balanced, as opposed to giving yourself any propulsion as such. But I'd say it's more for especially long distance triathlons or open water swimming. It's more they're there for balance and keeping yourself stable rather than for movement.
Okay, that sounds. And you are as a coach. You are not based in Edinburgh, but if someone want to have you've got that. This is your UCAN sport, and because this is another thing I want to tap into, because you do. You are a competitor in those things, but also you teach people.
So I coach all sorts of groups, but I've been coaching since I was like 16, so 5-6 years now. Started off just helping out at a local tri club in Stirling, and then did level 1, level 2 triathlon qualifications, and then started leading more sessions. And then in the last year or two, I've been doing more with kind of national Triathlon Scotland kind of level. So basically teaching people from like very beginners now, from young kids from like 10 years old all the way up to kind of adults learning to swim, and then even to kind of more serious people, kind of national level for triathlon, kind of helping out with them.
Okay, and it's mostly swimming or the
a bit of everything. So I've been doing more things with Triathlon Scotland recently, with their different squad. So one of their foundation squad, it's called, so they're younger, kind of 15-16-year-olds, help them out with their training camps and things over the winter time. And I do coach for it's called Skill School with Triathlon Scotland. So it's focused, it's for age groups 10 to 16, just trying to teach them different skills related to triathlon, and just basically just trying and get people more involved in the fun side of triathlon that might not necessarily want to race at high level. And
you are in a really good situation, as you are someone who would like to be coached by. You're doing this already, and you've got some background, and you've been doing all your life. This is really important.
Yeah. So like my new company, UCAN Sport, got a T-shirt on here. We kind of just started up this year, and our main aim of that is our little slogan is to create a healthier, happier lifestyle through sport. So we've got our first project that we've got now is with a kind of company that have an office based locally to us in Stirling called Scottish Sea Farms. We're putting on a triathlon. Well, it's a triathlon festival, it's been called. So we're putting a triathlon event on for them. So it's just for their staff.
Okay, for the staff.
For their staff, family, and customers and suppliers of the company.
That's a good idea.
So they're doing like kind of weekly sessions with myself, giving them kind of rough training programs and things, and then we're all working towards the event, which is 28th of May, so a week on Sunday actually.
So it's almost there.
So it's almost there, and to me, the improvements generally by people that I've seen has been, and they agree themselves, it's pretty incredible how far they've come already.
Because triathlon is something which it's really nice sport to train, because
Yeah.
you do every day, you do something different, and you are not only running every day. That's why I found this so nice.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, normally triathlon, if you get injured in something, so say you get injured in running, generally you'd be able to at least swim, or probably cycle as well. So there's normally some sort of other replacement you can do when you're doing triathlon, because you've got 3 sports and they're all slightly different muscle groups, so it's a nice mix.
And it looks like you can do this all your life, because it's somehow, I've spoken to some guys before from the triathlon club, and they're saying like some of them, they've been cyclists, and then they switched to triathlon, and then or the runners and switched to triathlon, and they said that they stopped having injuries because of the mix.
Yeah.
And so they cannot push on one thing too much. And then, have you noticed that as well? Or
yeah, well, I've really not had any major injuries. I've had some kind of shin calf problems once before, just a couple of years ago when I started doing more running, but I think that was just because I just got a bit carried away and did too much too soon. But I've generally never, for like 15 years of doing triathlon, never had a major injury that I've not been able to do anything. So fingers
stay like that. That's the
wood.
wood.
Touch
Yeah, we'll
wood. So I think especially when you get to a higher level, then you're obviously, it's that fine line between you pushing yourself to your limit but not going too far. But so when you get to kind of more high level, elite sort of level, then it's injuries are probably a bit more likely, because you're pushing yourself that little bit further, and you got to try and find that fine line between too much and just enough.
How do you justify? How you know? This is important. I'm not saying that I'm trying to be pro, but I'm trying to work as hard as I can and as smart as I can for preparation for my races. How do you know that you train too much?
Well, you just got to go by your feeling, really, because you got to kind of listen to your body.
So what
classic.
What you listen to?
What
you listen to?
So say you do like say you do like 3 weeks of hard, doing more training than you might normally do, and then the week after that, you just feel really tired, and you might feel like everything's kind of gone backwards. So it's when you start to feel really tired all the time, then you maybe think about just having some rest. So I think a lot of the thing is people underestimate rest as part of their training. People think they just need to train all the time, and if you're not training, then you're going to go backwards. But not the case.
It's when you rest. That's why taper works.
Yeah.
That's why those things, when you stop training, not stop training, but you decrease the.
So there won't be times in training that you'll feel really tired, but it's normally that's the ones that mentally kind of prepare you for the race that you're going to do, because racing hurts. So if you don't hurt in training a little bit, then you're probably not going to get as great race results as you might like.
The thing which my coach got me, because I got myself a coach this year, a mentor. So he said to me that I cannot race every race. I cannot, sign up for 10 races and trying to be the best in 10 of them.
That's
and people do this all the time, isn't it?
Yeah, because you got to say you enter 10 races or one race every month. You'll have to pick 1 or 2 races that you want to perform your best at. Because if you try to be at your peak, at your best on every single race, then you're going to get disappointed very quickly. So it's just trying to set yourself goals. So whether that's like a little goal in training or it's an event at some point in the year, just trying to set little goals and then work towards each goal and make sure you've got like a main goal rather than every race is your main goal, because that probably doesn't work out.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I tried this. I tasted it. Doesn't
Yeah,
work
it doesn't
at
work.
all. At all. So you're coming to. You'll be in Edinburgh as well, isn't it? Do you do the half Ironman in Edinburgh? or
I am just coming to watch that
You're
one.
gonna watch it?
Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna be a tough one. You've got any people?
Well,
you
there's a
coach?
lot of people in the triathlon club in Stirling that are doing it, so there'll be a lot of familiar faces out there. But I've got enough going on for the next couple of months, so I'll be sitting it out this time.
And then it's
Maybe next year, or we'll see.
Maybe they will get the big one, the full one at some point here.
Maybe, depends. Yeah, depends where it could be. If it's in Edinburgh as well, never.
This would
Hard
this
to
would be
tell.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
If it's here. So watching when you are, but then I need to come back to getting tired. And then you said when you're already tired, is there any way to catch it before? You know, you've got the plan, and then working with the plan. That's
yeah.
what's
So having some
important.
sort of structure. So whether it can be, it doesn't have to be an absolute 100% set in stone kind of structure. Especially if you've got a job as well. It's just trying to get the balance of, if you're got really busy at work, you might be kind of mentally tired and stressed. That does impact your actual training as well, so physically. So I think some people underestimate that side of things, that they mentally.
Oh, you're right. No worries.
And that people kind of underestimate the fact that if they're really busy at work for a week or so, that, I'm tired from working, why is that? So it's just generally trying to find a balance and find out what works, and trying to be consistent in your training, rather than just kind of doing a big burst of a couple of weeks and then doing nothing for 2 weeks again and then big bursts. So it's just trying to be little and often and
consistent.
just consistent.
Yeah.
I think most coaches, I think, would probably say the same. It's just trying to be consistent with your training. So just kind of being realistic with what you're trying to achieve with your training.
And you can take it to almost any part of your life.
Yeah.
Like trying to do things in bursts.
Yeah.
It never works.
Yeah.
It's better to just decide to do it.
So just
and
have
then
to
you're
build
doing
it up.
this.
So you start off, especially if you're just getting into triathlon or sport, and whatever the sport is, it's just building up. So don't just go all in at once and go out and try and first time your cycle go for 2 hours, because then you'll just burn yourself out. It might work for you, but the chances are you'll just burn yourself out. So you're just trying to build up your training. So start off small and then just build up a little bit each week.
That's cool. So probably all my guys who are trying to help with training, apart of the gym, apart of the strength training, they are kind of beginners who are just starting. So they will they're gonna find it helpful. So I'm keep saying that to them, but they never listen. So doing as much as possible. So do you obviously, I do a lot of strength training as well. In my training and in my life, this is what I do. Do you do anything like that? Do you finding a strength training or any other cross training important, or?
Yeah, well, I do a bit of gym work and things, but kind of I'm not very consistent with that. Just for the things that I do during the day. I do work in a gym as well, a couple of times a week, but normally I've got to really rush away and get somewhere else. So I don't really have the consistency of kind of strength training at the moment. But
do you think this would improve your performance?
I think it could, because there's not really much to me, as you can probably see. But I'd quite like to get a bit stronger and just kind of feel a bit stronger, especially upper body wise. But I do a mix of things. I do kettlebells. Well, I did kettlebells for a while.
Compete?
Yeah, I did a competition.
I
I
saw the pictures.
What was that? A couple of years ago, actually, down in Wales. People dragged me down.
Who introduced you to the kettlebells?
Kevin Wright.
Kevin Wright.
Yeah, because he used to, when I was in the swim club, we did strength and conditioning, and he was the coach for that. So I'd known him for years as well, and he was running Stirling Kettlebell Club, so I kind of went along to that, and I went there for every week for a good few months. And and it's just something different, a bit of strength training, something a bit using different muscles that you're not really used to. And then I started again about a month or so ago.
Really?
But I've had to stop again because I got another coaching job with Masters Swim Club in Stirling. So again, I was a little flurry of kettlebells for a while, but it was good to be back for a little bit.
Are you planning to compete again, or? We do have the competition
Yeah.
every so often in our place. So
Maybe at
you're
some
welcome.
point, I'd quite like to have just something different again. So I'd probably do that over winter time. So I've not really got much else going on and a bit more of a mix of things. But I wouldn't say I wouldn't come back.
Yeah, the wind came back. Guys, if you cannot hear us, I'm really sorry. There is nothing we can do about this. It's quite windy. It's really nice, but it's windy. Yeah. So
Sun's though.
Sun's out. Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Right, you said about putting on weight, but for the endurance, you don't need to put on weight. I'm trying to lose weight.
Yeah. Well, for my height, I'm about 6'2", and maybe a little bit, but I'm only 70 kilograms.
That's ridiculous.
And 70 kilograms when you're 6'2" and trying to do races that are 10 hours long, you need a bit of beef, do you? So you need a bit of something in reserve normally. But
you can switch with me. You know, it's 6.2. What's that? Is it like 190 centimeters or?
Just under 180 something.
No, I'm 6.1, I think, and I'm 188. Yeah, so it's kind of similar.
Yeah,
must be
about the same.
And I'm 87 now.
Yeah.
And I managed to drop already 10 kilos from last year. Like, it's going down, but it's not fat. It's just muscles because kettlebells and all this training, you put on bulk, and then it doesn't help. And I can feel every kilogram which I drop that my running and everything improves.
Yeah.
So there's need to be balance somewhere.
Yeah, it's just trying to find the right. I mean, I do all right with the weight I'm at. I've been in the same weight for years, but I mean, it seems to work out all right. But I just feel like I might benefit a little bit for the longer distance things and just get a bit stronger, especially for cycling wise.
Oh, the cycling, yeah.
I mean, my swimming's not that bad in triathlon terms, so something's obviously working out well enough. So I'm not totally worried about weight at all, but I just think it'd be something that it could, more of an experiment than anything, to be honest.
What do you eat when you compete, and what you telling your people? How you coach them
when I compete?
Like during the competition.
Yeah.
And then I will ask you about what you eat just in general.
In general.
Is there any diet you are following or?
I don't follow any diet at all. I do make an effort to eat pretty healthy. So we don't eat any processed foods or anything like that. Very occasionally, but make an effort to eat pretty good veg and all that sort of stuff. And but during races, if it's a longer one, then normally you try to start off eating more kind of solid foods to start. So before I made a little jam sandwich. Something a little nicer for the bike. So just trying to eat kind of solid.
You had the sandwiches.
Yeah, so little sandwiches. So you cut them up nice and small, just kind of one bite kind of size. So just trying to find something that, because everyone will be different. Some people will be able to eat gels all day and not have any problems.
Well, you might think that you can eat them, and then you decide on 9th hour mark, as it was for me, my body said no more to gels.
So you just have to try and eat as kind of normal foods. Well, for me anyway, try to eat kind of more normal foods for the majority of the bike ride, and then maybe the last hour or two, then just trying to gradually get softer foods, and then on the run, it's probably only gels or maybe a few different things. But normally you get just gels and liquids on the run. But
that's my idea for this year, and I will try to eat normal food as much as possible.
I think it works for me anyway. Because all the gels and how much you're drinking water all the time, so having gels is just extra liquid, and then you decide to run, and it all just bounces about in your stomach. So for me anyway, that's what I try to do.
So you're not measuring any how many grams per kilogram?
No,
of
I'm not.
carbs and
Well, I've not. Whether that I've thought about trying to be a bit more in depth with that sort of thing, but I'm generally quite happy with, outside of racing, quite happy just eating things because I like it, and I just so happen to like quite healthy food. So
you just, I think you can just. This is what I'm saying to everyone who is coming for some a little bit of coaching from me. It's just you just need to start learning to like those foods, and then it's easy.
Yeah, because when you go to a race, some people might have never had a gel before. So whether that's an Ironman or like a short race, you might find a gel and be, I will have a shot of that, and then have it, and then because your stomach's not used to it, and it's pretty much just sugar. So if your stomach's not used to eating that sort of processing that sort of stuff, then bad things can happen.
Yeah,
I remember I did a race a few weeks, a month or so ago, a triathlon race that I got some Haribos for the bike, and I had one towards the end of the bike, and then my stomach did not agree with it too much, and then I managed to keep going and felt fine, but I could just feel it pretty much straight away that there was just the pure sugar just doesn't really work out too well.
Do you got any strategy before the race, like the morning or it starts day before?
Well, the old classic carb loading is generally for that sort of thing, but I quite like to try more fatty foods.
Okay.
Kind of like avocado, nuts, that sort of stuff. I like to try and go for that sort of approach, just to try something a bit different. I'd probably try it for the kind of my less important races first. Just because obviously you're doing long distance Ironman stuff, you're just in fat burning mode pretty much the whole way. So I think something that I'd kind of I'd try and put a bit more thought into.
Just from experience.
To try something out.
Be careful with it though. You just start preparing a little bit earlier, because it takes. I was trying to do this for a couple of months now, just eating fats basically and stopping carbs. And one of my friends, Piotrek, he tells this doesn't work. I just try it, and I went playing squash, and I felt crap. It's like, well, how long you did it for? And he said like 1 day. It's like you need to allow your body to adjust.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't cut down on. I wouldn't cut down on carbs, but I just trying to make a bit more. Try to eat a bit more fatty foods, good fatty foods.
Good fatty foods.
Just basically to try it out, and if it doesn't work out, then I won't try it again.
It does work.
It would take a while if you cut out carbs for your body to adapt to that sort of thing. But I'm quite willing to try new things. So we'll see.
This is good. Otherwise, if you stuck to your guns in things, you're not developing. And then if you do this, you're not gonna improve.
So I like eating a lot of different foods. So I've not really got a problem with. I only like eating this sort of food. So I'm quite happy with the mix of trying things. So the trial and error.
All right. Listen, I've got. I want to start something new. I've got a couple of questions. I normally don't have any questions, but I've got a couple of them. I hope you don't mind. There are just 5 questions, which I'm thinking to do more interviews like that with people who are doing some triathlons or some races. Yeah. And I just want to find out about motivations and stuff. So, you all right for it?
Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So first one. I think we answered them before anyway, but if you can, just try to answer them as much as you can, right? So, why triathlons? Why you decided to do them?
Short answer or?
We can have both answers.
The challenge, and it's just trying to get the balance of the training of doing all 3 sports. I've never really focused on one sport, to be fair, but I just feel like it's just a challenge of it, to be honest.
Challenge. All right. The second one. What was your best race, or other way around this question? Which race would you like to do again?
Good question.
Yes.
Well, done so many. What race? Triathlon wise, probably Ironman Wales, because it was bloody hard. But
And this
the
ties to the challenge thing.
yeah, but the spectator wise on the course, the whole way round was incredible. Even normally you get out onto the bike and you see no one for hours, but not at Wales. There's
Not in
people
Wales.
seems to be pop up all over the place somehow. But
Okay.
so it was probably that triathlon wise. Outside of triathlon, in a weird way, a 24-hour mountain bike race. Again, because that is like a big time challenge. Basically, just how far can you go
yourself,
in 24 hours? I mean, I finished 7th when I did it last time, so.
Awesome.
And
Are you planning to do this again?
I will do it at some point, but I'm not planned when.
Okay. Okay. Next one.
Next one.
Your worst race, or the biggest mistake you did in preparation or during the race.
Oh, worst race. Another one.
It has to be one.
Oh.
Or something you done something stupid. I don't know.
Probably quite a lot.
But this is how you learn. And
Yeah, no,
that's
this
it. Doing
is,
mistakes are really important, because my next question is even more important than
More
that. So
important.
we need to
Right,
get
so
through that
what
one
we got?
first.
Worst race. Oh, worst race was or worst thing that happened in a race. Was a half Ironman in Zell am See in Austria. I did a crash at the end of the bike.
Oh.
About 2 or 3k from the end of the bike. It was pouring with rain the whole bike ride, and then came along a little back road towards the finish of the bike, and there was like a little bridges with kind of a right turn off the bridge. I came over the bridge and probably a bit too fast. There was a bit of gravel at the edge, and I hit the gravel and I just slid out like straight away. And then I had my wheels were tubs, so the tyre was glued to the rim.
Uh-huh.
And then when I crashed, the tyre came off the rim.
Oh no.
So, and my whole right side, my shoulders were all like.
Did you
ripped
manage to
up.
finish? Or
I did,
you-
yeah. So
Oh, well done,
I,
you.
I had to
that's
carry
the
I
spirit.
carried my bike for the last whatever 3k it was, whatever.
And why you never been in TV? This guy recently just had it for 1 kilometer and he went TV.
Yeah, I know, right? And then sat in transition for like 10 minutes trying to get myself together, and then I got prepared myself and just got on with it and
So-
still finished. So
Nice.
it's a reasonable time as well. Just kind of annoyed because I was on track for the time that I set my goal with. So it's just kind of annoying, to be honest. But things happen, eh?
Okay, next question. So what was the lesson you learned from that mistake or from this accident then? Is there anything?
I probably could have ridden back if I had just kind of taken my time, and because you can get your tyre back onto the rim like that, but I just kind of panicked and I'd never really used them much before, so I generally didn't really know what to do.
So basically back to
So basically
preparation.
just kind
If
of
you-
preparation and knowing how to fix something if something does go wrong, to be honest. So
And the last one, the answer can be sport related or life related. Your biggest dream.
dream.
Or you can just make it like a sport and life and whatever.
I would like to race at Kona, Ironman World Championships. That would be my triathlon related
Do you
one.
got any goal for it? How long in time you giving?
I would
yourself
like
do it?
to do that while I'm still in the age group I'm in, so 18 to 24.
18-24.
So I've still got two and a bit years left.
How far you've got?
I think if I
the gap. How
I
big
think
is the gap?
if I pick the right race, or well, be fair, going doing Bolton this year, I've looked at the results from previous years, and if I did the time that I was aiming to, I'd be the top 3 roundabout. So I guess it's not really that far away.
Right. So the next time I'm gonna meet you, you're gonna be a Kona competitor. So is this gonna be this gonna be a better chat?
Yeah. I never know. One day, the next couple of years.
Super. Super.
Yeah,
and then what about the coaching? Is there any goal for
coaching stuff?
You can sport.
Yeah, I to be honest, just want to try and get more people involved, and when it's not necessarily triathlon, but just at some sort of sport, and just to. The thing that we've got on at the moment is like more like a corporate thing, so kind of with a business to try and get kind of a more wider spread of people, but basically just trying to help other people get better as well, because I do a lot more coaching experience the last 4 or 5 years, so I just like to try and pass on everything that I've learned, or still am learning.
So trying to wrap it up, but before we do this, what's the best way to get in touch with you? If someone is watching this and someone want to have some, maybe living in Starling, or maybe, I don't know, do you do any online coaching as well?
Well, we got Training Peaks, so there's myself and it's my dad as well, Coull. He is Ironman certified coach, so you can get in touch with him either through the Ironman itself or through us. So youcansport.co.uk is our website, and we're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all that. For emails, coaching at Yahoo's, not Yahoo, coaching at youcansport.co.uk.
Okay, I will have it under the podcast.
So underneath, social media, all that, You Can Sport.
And you are on the races as well, so you kind of...
So we'll be around, so we could do some, as part of You Can, we do some commentating as well. So my dad will be actually commentating at Edinburgh 7.3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so...
Okay.
We'll be out and about all over the place at various events, so we'll...
I want your dad then.
Yeah.
Can you arrange something like that for your dad?
We could do it in Edinburgh.
This would be cool. This would be really cool. Anyway, thank you very much. I know you are
sure.
busy man. What's now? You coaching now? Or?
Well, it's now. Later on, I've got a session at 5 o'clock and then a session at 7:30. So
all right. So
2 sessions to take later on, but just in time for the wind to pick up.
Yes, that's okay. So it's good for kiting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah.
Right. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
For watching. Great, awesome job.
Thank you.